Okay, Biscayne, it is Friday, June 12th, 2020. This is the No One's Listening Show, episode 175. I'm your host, Rafa. I'm here with the excellent panel of rats. To my left is the lovely Anna.
Hi, Key Biscayne. Happy Friday.
To her left is the lovely and special guest, Nicole.
Hey, what's up?
To her left is the loveliest Lenny.
Older?
Which is
Manny's the oldest.
which is the worst.
Manny's the oldest. I'm not the oldest. Me, Lenny. Hi, guys.
And to her left is the machoist Manny.
Oh, man, I was waiting for my lovely.
All right, let's start how we always start, a little weekend talk. Tell us anything you did in the past couple days.
Do anything in the weekend?
Or
We did a weekend last weekend. We did a big cleanup for the Seabells.
Nice.
The yacht club.
Yes.
You hear about that?
Yep, I did, and I heard it was a
so
success.
The Seabells reached out, Elizabeth and
Nice. Aren't there like
Andrea.
3 of them right now or something?
They're always awesome.
There's 2 of
whoever
them.
they are.
2
There's
of them?
probably some in this room right now. There's at least one in this room.
There's one in this room. Was one
So
in this
they
room.
were
The best of all time.
They were really dying for
Something to do. Yeah.
Man, that's what they do. They're social planners. So they call
Right.
me and they're like, "Hey, can you do like a paddle or something?" And we paddled out to Mash the Flat before at sunset, and that's something that is fun and nice and social,
Right.
but you can't gather on Mash the Flat.
Right.
And then I was like, "How about a cleanup?" So they were okay. What do you need? So it was on a Tuesday that they called, and on Saturday we put together a mangrove cleanup.
There's a lot of people out there, man. You had like 30 people.
84.
84 people? That's
84
incredible.
awesome.
Good job.
volunteers,
nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
including 8 boats.
Wow.
and crews on the boats. We pulled
Manny.
out tons of trash, mostly families. I mean, anything on the key that's families is.
That's a great thing to do. That's awesome. I'm glad you did that.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and it went well. The weather held out, so and it was the first event that people had done other than protests on the key
Yep.
for a while.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Like got together and did something. That's cool.
That's awesome.
you guys been to the beach yet?
I went on Wednesday, the day it opened. It was my
Same.
dad's birthday.
Oh, nice.
And he had a little shindig at the beach club, like a little barbecue with
That's awesome.
15 people. No, 10. I think it was 10.
It's always 10
got-
now,
it's
Ten and
Lenny.
below.
What's the
10 and
magic
below.
number? 10? Okay, it was
That's
10.
nice. That's nice.
And we were all wearing our masks. And I went and took a dip in the ocean. It was awesome.
How
It was so much fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Did it feel? We went on Wednesday morning at like 8:30 in the morning, and the beach was packed. There were people like playing soccer, people tanning at like 8:30 a.m., people
Hilarious.
walking. It was
Bunch of
like-
kids in the
on a
water
Wednesday,
already.
Bunch of kids in the water.
Were
It
they
was like-
abiding to the rules of like,
Yes.
no congregating, no sitting with other people that are not your family?
Well, so Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. it was no, but I mean yes, but then I went yesterday at like 5:30.
it's like back to normal.
And there was like spring break 2020,
Yeah.
like these teenagers.
Yeah.
The
It's
teenagers
crazy.
were the only ones breaking the rule, but I was so happy for them. They were having so much fun. I usually hate when they play loud music, but I just guess I miss people. So I was like,
Right.
look how cute they are, all drunk,
Aw.
playing music and hugging each other and
They're just,
whatever.
I think people are just
dancing.
ready to try to be normal, even though the numbers are going up and stuff. But I think people just
I
want
know.
normalcy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know?
I know.
So,
Beach
what did
life.
I do
Let's
this
see this
weekend? So you went to the beach. I did my dad's birthday.
was
I did a
Wednesday.
protest with you guys. You were
Yes,
with me.
that was last.
That was last Thursday. We'll talk about that a little
right?
later.
Yeah, we'll
last
talk about it later.
Thursday.
What else
Oh,
did
we
I
hung
do?
out that night. That was a fun night.
Did we go out
The
that
next
night?
day
I don't remember.
sucked.
I'm too old for this
I
stuff.
think for you, Lenny, I'm warning you guys hanging out with Lenny.
Have fun, guys.
The tables have turned, huh?
Your Tuesday night weekends, don't have anything on
Yeah.
Lenny's
Remember
agenda.
those?
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Those
yeah,
were
so
good
that's what we
days.
did. Nicole,
Those were
what did you
good
do this weekend? Did Nicole do anything?
Has anyone played Catan? You know that game?
Yeah.
Catan?
Sounds
Man,
familiar.
It's a board game and I'm not really into
Oh.
board games, but my family has been playing throughout quarantine, and it's like a Monopoly game, and
Cool.
it's super fun.
How do you say it again?
Catan.
What
Catan.
is it?
Catan and Teens.
Catan.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really fun game, and you're
Really?
just basically like claiming property, and it's a show.
Sounds like Monopoly.
It totally is like
Okay.
Monopoly, 100%. But
That's
more
awesome.
modern and
So that
less
was your
moving
weekend.
parts. I mean, there was a couple other things that happened, but that
Don't
was
worry.
probably the most positive aspect.
Listen,
I love it.
we did a puzzle, okay? The same puzzle we've been doing since the
Oh,
beginning of quarantine.
I got puzzles to give you. So
There's
I can
like
have them.
20 pieces left out of 1,000, and it's going to be hard, Ralph.
No, it's not. You can do it.
They're all black.
They're
all the
black.
pieces are black.
We
all
did
the
a,
leftover
like a
ones.
still
Shapes?
life, like a floral kind of
that's
thing,
interesting.
and the rest are just black.
Yeah.
No,
It's like
everyone makes fun of
background.
me with my puzzles, but I love them.
Oh, on
Anyway.
Friday we went out to, or I went out
Where?
with Mr. Griff and this was rough because Thursday we went to Nick's house, and that was just
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
balls to the wall on a Thursday.
I died on Friday.
And Friday was rough, but when you start it again, you get the strength. So
I agree.
Gannon organized a longtime friend of the show, organized a little barbecue thing at his house in the Grove, and we all went out there, and it was really fun. And I went with Griff, and after one gin and tonic, it's like you're right back, right back with the
Back to
strength to
normal.
keep going.
Crazy.
And so we just saw all the old friends. Of course, only 10 of us were there, but 10 groups of 10, so it was a good thing.
10 groups.
So 100 of you there?
I don't get that advanced with the math, but and we also went on the boat on Sunday, which was really nice
That
with
was
Griff.
nice.
Griff invited us on the boat. I invited him here today. He didn't bite. But I guess that's your
He
weekend.
didn't answer me in the chat. Did you message him separately?
He hates us. He hates this show.
He clearly hates the show.
I saw Griff yesterday at the ski hole.
That's right.
Yeah, I ran into him. It was
That was
really
such
cute.
a cute pic.
I love him. He was by himself.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He's so cool.
That's nice.
I love that kid. Honestly.
Are we talking about Griffin Diaz?
No, that'd be awesome, though.
okay.
No.
Yeah, we're
What
going.
are you talking about?
I haven't seen him in many, 10 years. More, maybe.
No, our friend John Griff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, let's move on to what you're listening to. Anybody have any good tracks? I have a pretty good one.
I have a good.
I can't let you guys hear it because it doesn't show up on the
What is it
on
called?
the old thingy.
What is it?
It's called Trans Europe Express.
I have it here
Okay.
for you if you want it.
Oh,
Remember we
perfect.
listened to it last night.
Yeah.
Here.
And it's a cover of Kraftwerk's Trans Europe Express, but it's by this guy named Senor Coconut. And
What's funny is last night Rafa put it on and we were just having a beer, and when he put it on I was going to say this sounds like Kraftwerk, and I didn't say it. I held it in, and now I know why. It's right there.
where is it? Okay, so let's see if we can get just the little. See if we can get the part that's like the most memorable part. No.
It's kind of psychedelic and a little weird. I like it.
This song fits you guys perfectly.
So it's recorded in like '99 with a band in Chile. This German guy who switches. I mean, he's a producer. His name's Uwe something or other. I should know, but I don't. He's like a DJ guy. And he went down to Chile and he recorded under El Senor Coconut a bunch of Kraftwerk covers. It's awesome. Anyway, check that out.
I like it. Me likey. My song is stupid, but I always use dumb songs. But mine is Dire Straits.
No, you
Sultans of Swing. Oh, someone's calling me. Go away. Spam risk.
Decline.
How do you decline it? It won't let me decline. Damn it.
Hang up on that.
Oh my God. Sorry guys. Okay, hold on.
You
Here's
got
my
a
song.
phone call.
Hold on.
Hey. Oh, okay.
This is a great song.
I've been obsessed with this song lately.
All right. Yeah, that is a good one.
It's a very good one.
I mean, it always feels good.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's my song this week. For some reason, I've been listening to it.
It was on the
all
radio
day
at
long.
one point, no?
Not like Hotel California, which I hate. Okay.
I like Hotel California. And now I know, Rafa, how to bug you. When we hang out and play Hotel California.
Anything with Don Henley.
So my dad was a bass guitarist, and Don Henley joined the band, and my dad kicked him out of the band.
No way.
Yes. My dad played with Linda Ronstadt. He played
Cool.
with, incredible musician.
I saw your dad recently. He played at something.
Yeah, he played for fun at the Keys. So my dad was a musician always, and he played with Graham Parson, the
That's
incredible
awesome.
people.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he had a kid, and he decided he wanted to get into finance, so he switched it up. But now he's
Wow.
on the piano at the house,
He's
and
back in the
That's
music.
awesome.
guitars at the house. So we've been having just
That's
jam
so
parties.
cool.
Yeah.
Your dad's
so
the coolest dude.
Well,
That
yeah.
is cool.
Now your dad is way cooler than I thought he was.
Yeah.
So I love Wes. He's
like
awesome.
it.
Get him on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, he's old.
Yes,
He's
you should
amazing.
come play
Yeah.
with us.
All right.
I'm gonna guess Manny's song is a dead song.
It's an old
I'm
Rhythm and Blues
going to
song.
bring in an oldie but a goodie. I've just
I have a feeling
it's
it's a
come
dead.
up on the playlist several times. And
What
this
is
one's
it?
from Cornell.
Oh, Little Dead, of course.
Oh, I guessed it. It's the dead. It's a good song though.
Yeah.
Coming back to the beach. See that fire in the mountain, man.
All right.
Nothing like a sunrise in Key Biscayne.
tell us the track and the artist for the people that need it straightforward.
Yeah, just go to it. It's a Fire in the Mountain, Grateful Dead, Cornell University, 1977, May 8th, 1977.
Very cool.
Fire in the Mountain.
I wish I went to
All right.
Me too.
concert.
All right, you gotta.
Well, I can listen to this all day.
Wait.
Okay, but we're gonna
We're gonna get
All right,
pulled
all right,
off.
I'm sorry.
All right, this is the song I've been listening to. It's old school though. Oh,
Older than that school?
Put it right up on the mic.
Old school 1990.
Right up on it. Touch it to the thing. Perfect.
Oh yeah, I love this song. Lean on me. I love that song.
Yeah. What, this drink? I thought you didn't like gin.
It's
Good
Lean
one.
on Me.
That is so good.
it's such a good song.
It's a great song. Didn't he just pass away, Bill Withers?
Yeah, he did. Like a month ago.
Yeah, doing quarantine.
Yeah. 'Cause
Nice.
Aww.
Bill Withers, Lean on
Yeah,
Me.
beautiful.
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was gonna go in one direction. Now I'm going in another.
One Direction?
No,
Oh, yeah. Are they back together?
that was good.
On Zoom right now. Let's go.
That was really good. Because I've been listening to the same 5 songs over and over this week. But since I went with Wilco last time for James, I'm gonna go with Ween this time for Al Ricolt. It's tried and true. So good.
We're all dancing here.
We're all bobbing our heads.
Yep. I like it. Who is this?
Ween.
Ween.
And I'll take it off for a second.
I'm thinking of Cousin Al right now.
It sounds like a Cousin Al jam.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
I like it.
Yeah,
Ween.
album is Quebec.
Cool.
From Lord, that's my other song. Sorry.
Don't say the F word,
Whatever.
Emma. She said fudge.
I'll save my other song for next time, even though I want 2 songs this week. But whatever.
Next week.
Next 2 weeks.
All right, well, that's what you're listening to. I hope you found that entertaining. Found a nice song for your playlist for next time. Let's go right into the talk of the town. Starting with the thing that I thought was the most something this week, which was the protests, the Black Lives Matter protests on the Key. These were on Thursday, last Thursday at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Rush hour.
And Nicole's here. Nicole helped organize these
Yeah.
things. And so I guess I want to talk about it all. How it played out, the reaction from residents,
Yep.
the amount of cops that showed up from Miami-Dade, which is insane.
First of all, you didn't even know if it was going to happen, right? Because it was a rainy day and there were rumors going around. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off.
So yeah, basically, we planned it, just hoping that we would get the Key Biscayne residents to come together. And it started going around, and I started getting messages and screenshots from this chat and this chat of they're canceling it. It's a girl from Antifa. She's liberal junk.
No.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people thought I was Antifa. Someone wrote my mom saying, "I can't believe your daughter's associated with Antifa." I'm
Oh,
like,
my God.
How do you know what
know what that is?
It's exactly.
Come on. You can believe that, you guys. Here
Oh, yeah,
on
here
the
on the
key.
Key?
100%. I believe
Yeah.
it. Go on.
Yeah,
Disappointed.
So, actually, the cops that came, all those cops that came through, that there's the video of them, they were doing a training, so they didn't
It had
come
nothing
for
to do with this.
It had nothing to do with
Yeah.
the protest.
I heard that.
Yeah. So call the police department.
Wait, I missed that.
So they came, they were doing a training. They started in South Miami through the Grove. They came through the Key and they left. But when I met with Chief Press, I actually asked him post, I'm like, listen, how much did this cost the Key? Because he said to me, he's like, listen, I'm going to bring in some backup because we're not necessarily trained in case things were to get out of hand.
So you called the chief before. And
Well, we spoke before, but
Okay.
this was on Monday. I met with him just to see, what it cost.
And the
what it
protest was on
entailed.
Thursday, or?
Yeah, it was on Thursday.
Okay, so
Right.
Monday is when you
Yeah.
really started talking about it.
No. I planned it on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And we
Yeah, it was
did
the day
on
before.
Thursday.
No.
Oh,
That was the thing. It was the day before. And
It's
I
a
think
protest.
that was...
That's how it works.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Right.
The reason we also did it that way was because we weren't trying to promote it to people off the Key.
Yeah.
and bring in
Obviously.
crazies. So the less time for Key Biscayne residents, the safer we felt it would be.
That's a good idea.
Granted, we could have probably done a better job. I could have come out with a video, but it's telephone in Key Biscayne. So
Right.
one thing led to another.
It's the chats. It's the chat chats.
chats.
We have
We
a
call
whole
it chat
section.
Oh, the
Yeah.
chat chats were on fire.
Yeah. So
It was fun.
Lenny, you're on like 20 of them.
Not anymore. I've gotten rid of a couple because I couldn't take
All
it anymore.
right,
To tell you the truth.
18.
No, I'm down to 3. Yeah, but yeah, the chats were, and they were just asking questions. And you know what happened was, because I saw how the fire started going.
Fire in the mountain.
No, people started asking questions like, who's doing this protest? And then no one knew. I don't know. No one knew. No one would. So then that's when they started rapid fire. That's probably when someone was like, Antifa. I mean,
Why would they say that without knowing?
it went from 0 to like 100 in like 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
It showed up on my girls' chat with someone writing along with the image was, I hope this stays peaceful. Like, I hope you guys stay safe. And I was like, give me a motherfucking break.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So
that's what I said to my girlfriend's chat. Okay.
So the rest of the chat, once we found out, and once people found out, not we, people on the chats found out that it was Nicole. You did a video in front of the police station, and so did your brother. Things calmed down. They're like, oh, okay, it is someone from Key Biscayne. It's not some random person trying to
for
stir up
some
shit.
people, it calmed down.
Well, okay. For most of them, they're like, okay, this is a Key Biscayne grassroots thing. It's totally going to be calm. I think that helped a lot. So in the beginning,
But it looked like it was.
So yeah, from where did it go? Like when you posted it and people start reacting?
Yeah, I met with Chief Press. We kind of came up with a game plan of how it would go. And he actually didn't have one cop car at the actual protest.
Mm-hmm.
They all stood like down by
I
St.
saw
Agnes.
that.
He had some cars,
Yeah.
but he didn't want any type of police presence because
Right.
he trusted us. He trusted the community.
Right.
Yeah.
He trusted that everyone would, not block traffic.
Right.
We weren't there to cause traffic in Key
No.
Biscayne, God forbid. I
the entry block. Are you kidding me?
But we weren't, there was no intention of doing anything
Right.
malicious or harmful to the businesses. This is my home. I
Right, of
cherish
course.
this place.
Yeah.
Of course.
So there was no intention of that, but it didn't stop people from writing me messages such as, I need to get a boyfriend and I wouldn't
Oh,
be
geez.
protesting.
Are you kidding me?
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, I've got some. I was like, is he inviting me on a date? I couldn't tell at first, and I'm like, but he kept writing me, and then
Holy
some moms
crap.
kept writing me, and their children would write me. And
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
responded with like as much love as
Of
I possibly
course.
could because there was nothing negative that I was trying to do. So responding with any amount of
People-
And
negativity would be
From what
ludicrous.
from what I've been learning with my sometimes disagreements and sometimes arguments with friends, all their negativity comes from their fear.
Right. I was
So
gonna
you
say
answering with
it's
like
fear-based.
negative is only
right.
gonna blow that up, right?
That's all that is
So throwing
fear-based.
love their
Yeah.
way is the only way. Like that's the only thing you could do.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I was threatened that I needed to move off of the key,
No.
me and my brother.
Oh my
And that
God.
I have no respect for authority.
As if
and
you guys are always promoting amazing
yeah.
things. Like
So
what?
my brother has been in the military. I run a
Right.
nonprofit since 2009 that supports the military. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't talk to a girl that loves
Exactly.
the military more. I'm like, I don't know
Exactly.
if anyone in the key does as much as
Right.
I actively do.
I
I'm
really
like-
don't think so.
So it was so confusing. And first off, Chief Press is an absolute.
No, he's
like,
amazing.
Yes.
He's amazing. We're so
lucky
lucky
to
to
Wow,
have him.
he is
honestly.
such a cool dude, and I didn't know the extent of it until I met with him.
Yeah, he's
And
extra. He's
he
just.
had some conversations with me that were so real. I was like, this guy is.
We're really, really
special.
lucky to have him here on,
Yeah,
on this island.
for
Honestly,
sure.
we're really blessed
For
for
sure.
that.
So,
Really
do you
great.
guys think those reactions of people, and I'm not sure if you read them, some of them were just real
Wow, they're
toxic. I saw them in
crazy.
some of the chats.
Oh, so
They were real-
Rafa's talking about the. Oh, you're talking about the newspaper today, or
Oh, I didn't see any of the things
I
in the
didn't see that
newspaper,
either.
but I saw some
no,
that
no.
were just like, oh my
in the
god,
chats?
Really?
yeah, you're bringing a bad element. What are you doing?
Silly
All this
people.
stuff, and I wonder if it's, if it's because they're just watching too much TV or something, and they think
know,
like this is going
I-
to explode in their
I
face.
think
They
to
don't.
Anna's point, people get scared. They're seeing what's happening outside, and a lot of people are confused of what's going on, whether whatever. And
Well,
they
don't
see,
forget-
and they get nervous. They don't.
They need to learn.
They get and it's a fear thing. That's what it is. That's all it
But
is.
they need to work harder at learning
I agree.
exactly
Like,
what's
educate
going
yourself.
on. Yeah.
it's
Watch every news
a.
media, read more because actually news I think is. I don't
Yeah.
know, there's no station that I like
Yeah.
at all. I like to read everything, but
Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic too, so
Well, yeah,
people
yeah.
are
So,
already
right, so people are
living
scared.
around
Right, right.
in a bubble. Everyone's already still in a bubble.
That's
So
true.
Things
So it's a lot
were raw coming out of the bubble like that
yeah.
was a lot of people didn't believe in the bubble either.
Yeah, so
And
there's
they
a lot
didn't-
going on.
They thought there was whatever, that's a hoax, and
Dude, I've heard it all. I've heard
everything too.
But then to come out now, and then everyone's there's a protest with 100 people. We haven't seen 100 people together at
Yeah.
Man,
one
the thing is-
time in.
But
But
you know
whoever's
what
thinking that, it's like, I don't give a shit.
Not just
The
here,
shit's
not just
happening
here,
right
but-
now.
Yeah, but you know what the most concerning thing to me about it was that people were coming out in fear of having a protest, but there was a big lack of care for the racist problem that we have in
exactly.
America.
Right.
Exactly.
And that was the most shocking to me. In these group chats, people would spend hours writing back and forth, arguing about whether or not we should have a protest in Key Biscayne instead of the issue that we have here. And what was most concerning was a lot of the messages would tell me that racism is not real, it's not a problem,
God.
or that it's not a problem in Key Biscayne. And
my
they were so wrong.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, I just walk outside my door, and I'm like, that was heartbreaking to me because
they focus on that instead of the actual problem.
you
I
miss
know.
the point. It's a distraction from actually the problem and doing the work to solve the problem.
Right.
So that was probably the most disappointing part. But I say disappointing. I mean, a lot of people showed up. There was a
Protest
lot of love.
is about bringing awareness, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought that it knocked it out of the park.
I agree.
I think so,
in
too.
terms of bringing awareness here in the Key.
I agree.
I think so.
Somebody wrote in the paper today, talk about how people can be just sort of blind. Somebody wrote in the paper, the Key Biscayne's not the place for a protest. You can tell there were only 20 people as you drove
Yeah,
by.
well, it wasn't 20 people.
20 people.
It
There
was
were
more
like-
than 20 people. I was there.
I mean, there were all the intersections were full,
Yeah.
and it was
And it was every
it was
generation.
really-
Yeah.
There was every generation, people from all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, older, young, South America, Europe, everyone from everywhere was there staying in the
I
corner.
don't understand these people that they saw it and they got upset. I'm not sure what they're upset about. Are they upset about the message?
Well, one person was upset because, and there was a news story. Did you see? Like one of the channels, Telemundo or somebody was there, and they were like, it's coronavirus. People shouldn't be coming together.
People
like
are
this.
fucking dying.
Every
anyway, like,
person
are you kidding me? Are you,
at
like, that's what I don't.
the protest had a mask
the
on,
corona,
by the way.
Also, the corona. Give me a fucking break. This shit's been going on for way too long, forever.
Yeah, right.
And we're not going to pause it to wait for the pandemic to be over to talk about it. Like,
Everyone
it's not- I
had a
don't
mask
understand
on at
people-
this protest. I looked,
everybody
Hey,
did.
every
Nikki,
single
what about
person.
the
There was a mask.
there were like there was a show, like an actor or a very dramatic moment where
Where someone dropped their contact lens.
People didn't
I don't know
understand
if you've
Rafa's
seen this
humor.
newsletter, but the Tropical Rag in there, he posts a photo where everybody's on their knees for the 8 minutes and 46 seconds where this Australian woman who I'd never met gave her reenactment
I
of
heard
George
it. It was
Floyd,
great.
which was brutal.
Yeah, it was.
And in the Tropical
No, but it
Rag,
was-
this guy says when she dropped her contact lens,
Oh my
everybody went to
gosh.
the ground. And honestly, I
sense
couldn't
of
stop
humor.
laughing.
What? I
twisted
missed,
sense of
I
humor.
missed that.
I couldn't stop laughing. And just to the corona virus point.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Obviously, I'm super sensitive. Hundreds of thousands of people worldwide have died. My aunt passed away in New York. My aunt works in NYU at the hospital.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I'm very in touch with the fact that this was going on. But, we're also now learning that asymptomatic spread is very unlikely.
Right, I know.
And everyone was in a mask. So
I think we're okay.
And I feel like the type of person who went out there is probably already
Open-minded.
is probably
enough
going
to,
out.
Right.
they're hanging out in the big group.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Also, to
Not
be really
necessarily,
honest,
actually.
if I felt uncomfortable being around a lot of people and I still wanted to protest, I would be across the street diagonally over there. There
People
was space
were.
for that.
Yeah,
Which,
people were.
There was
Which, by
space
the
for
way,
that.
I didn't want to go in the middle of where everyone was in that. I was a little down because I was like, I want, just
Yeah.
in case, I'm in my late 50s, just kidding, early 50s.
So also, because this is about Key Biscayne, the fact that the protests are happening off the Key and there's the pandemic and whatever, I mean, we're not. In the beginning, to be honest, I was like, wait, is the Key the place? Should we take this energy and take it and add to the numbers off the Key? Like, should us as a group, as a community, go represent off the Key?
Right.
And that was like one way of thinking. And then the other way was, wait, people who live here need to see this because
Okay,
they need to think about what's going on.
I agree with you, and that was a
then
lot of
after
questions.
Going, which, by the way, all of us in this room went, and I love that Rat Radio supported this.
Yeah.
after going, I realized how important it was for the kids to see it.
Yeah.
They were, Caro and I kept mentioning, like, cars would pass by. Most people honked and, like, were like, hell yeah, like, we support this. Some people nodded their heads.
Anna, sometimes we had to make the people honk. Remember?
I know, remember? But the guy loved it.
I'm like, you're gonna honk, right?
Were you flashing people?
No, I wasn't. No one's gonna honk for me. I'm too. Come on.
Lenny was asking for
Nicole.
beats.
I don't know. Lenny's pretty hot.
Oh, Lenny's super hot.
No, but
Smoking.
Anna's like, can you get the guy to honk? I'm like, I'm gonna get the guy to honk.
The guy honked
We
and did not stop for like the
it was
full
great.
red light. It was amazing. But then, we saw some cars where the parents would put up the window.
Yeah.
But the kids, with their
Wanted it.
curiosity, they were just like staring out
Yeah,
the window and they
I
would
agree.
smile. How important is that these children are seeing that there are adults and
Right.
young people?
Who care about
They were
this?
just
care
trying
about
to.
this
They were trying to
issue.
read Rafa's sign. It was Rafa. What did your sign say, Rafa?
My sign said systemic racism is
No.
In Espanol.
What did it really
Spanish.
say? What did it really say? If someone was looking at it, what did it say exactly?
El racismo sistémico es real.
Sí.
Boom.
El
And I just
único
wanted because
sign en español.
I did the same thing when I went to the downtown once. You got to do it in Spanish. The whole county, over 70% of
That was so
households
smart.
in this county speak Spanish at home.
You know
over
what?
So smart.
70%. Okay, and we're out. I see all these people with English signs. Like, who are you talking to? You're not talking to
You're
anybody.
right.
You're not talking to anybody.
Oh, man.
And on the
you're
key,
right.
and on the key, when you hear the racist stuff, it's
mostly-
usually in Spanish.
I agree.
I thought Rafa
obviously,
was.
because 70% of people are
Yeah,
speaking
exactly.
in Spanish,
That's
maybe even
why,
higher
yeah.
on the
I thought your sign was brilliant.
I thought you
Rafa.
were with Telemundo, and you didn't even. And then I was like, oh my god, Telemundo. Somebody sent me the link. It was a 8-minute story or 5-minute story or
Rafa's
something.
there.
Rafa wasn't in it, but Chico was. Chico came out in the
Chico came
story.
out.
Yeah,
Nice.
100%.
He was the only Spanish sign.
Like racism is a taught thing. We teach people racism.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Right.
So having people like the kids see that is super powerful. And I had some dads come up to me and this mom, and they basically said, we wanted to take our kids, we want to educate them on what's going on. They're asking questions,
Right.
and this is a safe place to do it. And we felt like we could bring them here and educate them and have conversations. And I tried to go up to everybody and ask them, hey, why'd you come? What do you think? Is there something, I talked to these two older men, I don't know, maybe in their late 70s, maybe, standing off by like the gas station, and they looked angry in their face. And I went over and I'm like, hey, I don't know why you guys are here, but I'd love if there's something you want to share, and they shared some interesting points, and we had a really good conversation. At the end of it, they're like, we approve of this.
Oh,
And that's what they
good.
said to me. And I'm like, at first they didn't. But
Because they were probably there looking to to see if it was going to be something bad, and then they approved what they saw that we were
I think
peaceful.
They see, like, the
and
soul of it is like, this is, the key. Racism is a big problem, and if we keep ignoring it, it's gonna
It's
come
everywhere,
into
though.
the key
Not just
in a
the
way
key.
that we don't want it to.
it's everywhere.
So-
There are so many people that you'll talk. I thought this was a given that everybody kind of knew that black people get pulled over just for nothing all the
Right,
time
right.
and just get,
just
you don't look like you belong
racial
here
prof-
all the time. It happens to them all the time. It doesn't matter how they dress. It doesn't matter anything.
What
This
car
happens.
you're driving,
But
it
people
doesn't
don't know
matter.
that happens.
Remember
It's
that
like-
one
People
council
are
member?
naive, man.
The one
Are you
council
kidding
member
me?
wants us to do the racial profiling.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We have a
I
council
mean-
member who's actually advocated for that kind
Advocated
of
We
stuff.
for the
can
racial
say his
profiling.
name because the fucking council meetings are public. By
Yeah,
the
but-
way,
Yeah, Luis Loreto, the
And I just
council
saw him in the
member,
elevator.
Yeah.
he's come out a bunch of times.
Wanting to do
'Cause
the
he-
racial profiling.
Yeah, he says that kind of stuff. He
And Mike
likes to
Davey
seem
won't
like
have
tough
it.
on stuff. I bet he's probably thinking to himself, "Ooh, man, like what?" Maybe he's reflecting a little bit now.
I hope so.
But he was always like, "Oh, let the courts decide. Just get him."
Right.
And that's not. And you tell me, why would you protest here? I mean, you have a guy right there telling you to put
Right.
these policies in place. It's
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
And
so-
thank God the rest of our council and our mayor wasn't having it, so thank God.
good.
Yeah, I know. But you know what happens? This is what I didn't write about this, but I thought it is okay. Imagine, so this is what happened with Loreto, okay?
Right.
There was a string of robbery, of carjackings here. Not carjackings. I guess
Asians,
carjackings.
weren't they?
They weren't
No, not
carjacking.
even. Just car stealing.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
were stealing the
Where
cars.
they were stealing, right?
And the video, the mash
But
to
then
home.
a video came out.
Yeah.
The other ones, they all got caught.
Right.
And they came in like different waves.
Right.
But then a video came out where the kids were black
Right.
doing it, right? This is the first time that somebody says something. So he goes up and he's like, we got to start profiling these people. Okay, so obviously you don't say it when the other guys are there because you can't, I guess, because, they're not black, so you can't say it. And then what happens? Chief Press says, hell no. Chief Press does a lot of outreach in like Liberty
Yeah,
City
he
and
does.
stuff
He's
like that.
a-
Imagine if
he's
he's
the
doing
most
outreach in Liberty
amazing
City. He has
human-
to tell them, hey, don't come to the Key because we're going to just pull you over.
Right. It's
That
ridiculous.
would be ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
But he tells them no. Imagine now, any crime can happen, nothing's going to happen. But if a black person commits a crime now, Loretto's going to be like, hey, Chief, why were you doing what I was saying?
Yeah.
And the chief is going to feel that kind of pressure, and it's not good. It's just not good. It's a weird, it's the reason
But
we can't
the
have that
reality,
kind of
this
stuff.
problem is here already. So
Yeah.
we need to address it. And I think the conversations that people should be having with their families, with their kids is,
And friends.
what are we all doing to play a part to stop this? Because a lot of people want to talk about, like, did you see that video of what he did? Did you see this video?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
man.
okay,
Right.
let's talk about as a community, as individuals, in our family, what we can do to solve the problem.
Right.
I'm down for that conversation anytime.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste my time having conversations that a lot of people are having, which is like, did you see this video?
Yeah.
This protester,
That's-
this. And I'm
Right.
like, I tell my dad, I'm like, but Dad, what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
Right.
What are we doing about it as a family? And it's fostered some really tough and uncomfortable conversations. I
Right.
mean, my brother's from the military. He went to West Point. He
Right.
went to Wharton for business school. My sister is an artist and is in design school for communication. Like,
Right.
we've got a lot of different. My parents are finance. I mean, it's a lot of different people sitting at the table, and it's been some of the hardest conversations.
Yeah.
And I feel like the best because
Right.
The best, yeah.
you
It's real.
change is
Yeah,
happening.
it's
And you
real
couldn't go anywhere because you're all under quarantine,
Exactly.
self-isolating as a family for like 3 months.
Yeah.
So that happened, and this was, I guess, not surprising to me actually, but someone in my close group of friends in our chat, just sent like a string of riot videos, whatever, and didn't say anything. Just dropped it in there, and I blew up. Poor Rafa had to listen to me bitch about this forever. I was like, "Why did you just put this in here? Why are you putting all this negative shit? I could see
Right.
that on the news. We know this is happening,
Right.
And the bigger question is, why is this happening? What can we do to help? What and it started just like a okay, and it was great. We didn't agree. All of us did not agree in the end, and we still don't agree. But at least it got a good conversation going, a more real conversation than that group has had in a long time.
Okay.
And it got people reading stuff about progress. What can you do?
Right.
How can I help? Where can I donate?
So was that person sending negative protest stuff, like more rioting stuff? Like
yeah.
Okay, because
And just didn't say anything. But it wasn't, I mean, it was just like mindless what she
Right,
did. She just
right.
like naively just like forwarded shit.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, that's
Which is wrong, too. That needs to stop.
And on the other side, they just send the cop ones, and it just
Yeah.
distracts from the actual issue here, which is black people getting treated unfairly
Exactly.
in their
Why
day-to-day
is this
lives,
happening? Yeah.
and the police brutality that makes it explode. That's why people are protesting. But the killings are really bad, obviously.
Yeah.
But the killings only boil over because they have to deal with it all the time with like little things just constantly, and then when they're finally killing them, it's like, okay, now it's like we can't shut up
yeah.
anymore.
We-
And it's been
we
going on
shouldn't
for
have
like
shut
10
up.
years.
We got to keep going.
And whenever they protest, they tell them it's stupid to protest, like in the NFL and stuff. You tell them, oh, no, you shouldn't be protesting, blah, blah, blah. Well, it all explodes in the end, you know?
Right.
Now, moving on, kind of, but to bring it back to the key a little bit.
The mask video?
Yeah. So you guys remember a couple years ago that there was a little hubbubaloo about some racism stuff at Mast?
Yes.
Well, the
Whoa.
student...
We talked about it.
She put out a
lot.
video calling out all the students who
By name.
who by name who
I don't know
who
about
were
this.
racist to her, like called her the N word, all the stuff. Like she put it on
Wow.
Instagram, and she was like, "You guys are now, solidarity, all that stuff, but you guys are
Right. What happened
but
was
you guys were shitting on me the whole time I was at school as the only black girl, and blah blah blah."
Wow.
Yeah.
So she called out all the people who weren't next to her.
by name, just like you did this to me. She had like all
wow.
notes and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her name is Maya, and on Instagram it's Mayyaa Destiny.
Oh, wow.
And you should peek the video because it's pretty disturbing.
It's all kids
Super
on the key,
disturbing.
and you say this doesn't happen. And where do these kids
Exactly.
learn that
This is
stuff?
exactly it, yeah.
But I
From
think
their
what happened
parents.
is that some of those kids, or at least one of them, had mentioned something in pro, I think, Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
in a comment, and then someone who knew about this, history, said, I'm glad to see that, you've sort of changed your tune. Have you apologized to Maya?
Interesting.
About this?"
Interesting.
Wasn't it? It was something like that.
Yeah, that's basically how it went. And she was like, how are you supporting it now? When I was in high school, you would call me the N-word. You guys would ask me,
Wow.
Even her teachers, her father passed, and the teacher automatically was like, oh, was it drugs or guns or violence?
wow.
And she's like, it was so stereotypical. And you feel bad because these are kids. These are kids.
You could see the extent, of hurt and trauma that she had suffered.
This shit happened when we were in high school. Ugly and dirty. And I won't name names because some of them are our friends till today, which maybe I, should ask them. I'm joking. But it always hurt me to see it. This shit has been happening.
I think they've
bad.
Yeah.
You remember
bad.
the shit that I won't bring up the story, but you remember the shit that happened at a party.
Oh, dude, at a party at my house.
That's scary.
Okay.
Fucking crying about that till today.
So these kids,
Okay,
everybody
tell me.
was always So yeah, so a lot of the people. It was actually the people from Anna's year. They like to get in fights and they like to get rowdy. I mean, I guess the people from my year too, but these kids really like to get in fights. And if by the end of the night they hadn't they hadn't hooked up or something, they would get in fights. And there was.
Don't you remember people used to go out just to fight?
Oh,
Meet me at the water towers? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
I need something else. You can pour me a whiskey.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So one of these nights, dude, there's this kid. He comes, and these guys know him. They really have no problems with him. He is just a guy who comes. He's black. He shows up. It's at my house. They're outside. Okay, so they're not even inside. They're in the front yard or something. They're in the street in front of my house. And apparently, I didn't see it all happen, but the kid's talking to a girl. One of these guys comes up to him and is like, what the hell are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They beat him so hard. They left him naked.
No,
They beat him halfway to
Shut.
death, and Andy had to drive him to the hospital. And it was all because, it could have been, it was a combination of these kids were always super racist.
I was going to say,
and
because
second,
he's black.
And second, because he was
Sorry.
an outsider, right?
I don't care.
But
That's
it was
bullshit.
always bad, man. It was always bad,
Wow.
and they had no problem.
This one was really bad.
They had no
This one-
problem.
that one-
Excuse me, Rafa. We
Using-
don't have that problem here in Key Biscayne.
Yeah,
we
no.
don't have that problem in Key
Exactly.
Biscayne.
Exactly
Yeah.
exactly why the protest was a good move in the key for people to see this.
So I know some of these kids too. 'Cause my friend whose daughter is at Mast, she shared it with me,
Wow.
and she, I was like, I remember we talked about it. We remember talking about that and hearing about it a few years ago, and so she asked me if I knew any of these kids, and I didn't recognize it because she didn't spell it correctly. But then I listened to the video. I was like, wait a second. I know these guys.
You know
I
who
know
it
some of
was?
these kids because they're the same age as one of my kids.
Yeah.
So I knew them since they're little kids growing up.
I think
And one of them, I'm Officer Manny against Rafa. When I see this kid speed down my street, I'm like, I stop. So I'm already, kind of aware of that one. But, what
It's
about
sad.
So does someone who makes mistakes like that when they're in 13, when they're
Did they
eighth
change?
grade? These kids were like 13 or 14 at the time,
So
and
do
then
you
it
think
went
this
on
person
for
changed?
years.
The one that they called out?
I don't know the kids
The one that-
personally. I don't know the kids personally.
I hope so.
Since as people, right?
You
I
can
know
grow.
who they are, but
Absolutely, people can grow.
and I wonder if at what point do you have? And I think a lot of people make mistakes. It's not
Of course.
justifying it at
Especially
all.
when you're a teenager.
In today's culture, people are just turn on the TV. Someone's apologizing for something all the time, right? But these are mistakes that are they run deep, and they go go back for
Generations.
hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's even I'm gonna say, and I'll say this right now. My grandmother's dead. I love her. She was the first beach cleanup person of all of Key Biscayne, picking up trash from the beach.
She's an OG weirdo.
Yeah, but she was racist. I mean, when my daughter was born and she had green eyes and blonde hair, she's like, mejoraste la raza, which means you improve the race. Okay, that's
I think most of our grandparents in this
racist.
room said,
but it
shitty
doesn't
shit.
mean, and I used to always challenge her about it. It
Good.
really made me upset. So just because my grandmother thought that doesn't mean I need to think that. So that's how you have to keep going and growing is my point.
That's true.
So
People do learn stuff at home.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think also an important thing is people also deserve second chances. And
You're right.
I always create space for someone that makes a mistake to, one of these group chats, for example, where they were going off about me and Antifa and organizing the protest, how radical I am. And by the way, this is not political. This is not a left or right thing.
Yeah,
This is
some people
strictly
took it
about
that way,
racism.
too.
Yeah, some people got
But this
that. Yeah.
woman came at me and she wrote something, assuming my character, assuming who I was, assuming my personality. She'd never met me and I'd never met her. And she wrote something really harsh and I read it. I was like, damn, that hurts. Like, we don't know each other.
Right.
And some other beautiful people in the key who I've also never met came back and were like, this is out of line. The woman deleted the comment and publicly apologized
Oh,
to
good.
me,
Ooh, good.
acknowledging that what she did was wrong.
On
And
the
I-
chat?
Publicly in the chat.
Good.
And she deleted what she wrote, and I had already screen saved it, but
Yeah, but that's
but I have to say, I wrote this woman back, and I said, listen, like, I'm impressed. Like, I appreciate that. I understand, things can get misconstrued here, but
Right.
that's the type of person, like, we're all going to mess up. But if you're
Own
willing
up.
to
Own it up.
autocorrect and
Own up to your
it,
mistake,
because
yeah.
I'm going to mess up too. Everybody in this
Yeah,
room
of
is
course.
Guys, I've made a lot of mistakes.
if we can just say, like, listen, I
Everybody.
really effed up here, like she
Right.
did, and she came back, I'm like, you know what? I got a lot of love for that lady, and I respect for her, too. And she was someone that came at me, like, heavy hard, where I was like,
Did-
whoa.
did she apologize to the chat or just to you privately?
No, to the chat.
Good.
And I said,
Good.
listen,
Nice.
this woman she's here in the Keys. She does work with the Girl Scouts. And
Great.
I was like, listen, if I can support what you're doing, like, I'm here for that because that's the type of woman that I respect.
Yeah.
Of course.
I like
Great.
that. I like to hear that.
No, but it's
That's-
good. So the point is, people can change their ways. This kid, hopefully.
But it exists out there.
It
For people
exists.
who
That's
think
the
it
thing.
doesn't
We have to-
exist,
everybody
it
needs to
exists.
realize
And guess
it
what?
exists. Like, that's
and
where
we're
it
moving
comes
forward. We're doing the peaceful protest. People are
Exactly. And
seeing
that's
us,
what it
and
was-
maybe we're
yeah.
making
I thought it
people
was
think
great. I
and
thought it
change
was-
their ways.
And also,
That's all.
Rafa and I
we're
had
doing.
gone to a protest in downtown the weekend before where we walk, you're marching, whatever. So I was like, oh, wait, what are we going to do on the Key? I didn't know. I was like, are we going to march down Crandon Boulevard? But I got excited about it. And then when I saw we were standing still there, it made so much sense because it hit every single person
Coming into
driving
the
in.
Key. Yeah.
And that's what everybody's doing at that time. Everybody's driving in, and it hit everybody that was coming in.
It was
I thought it was
nice.
amazing.
Well, some people did write that we walked 2 blocks, and there was a lot of talk about all the things
Oh,
that we
God.
did. And I was like, we didn't do any of this. Like, who said we walked 2 blocks? I'm
there's-
like, I walked 2 feet in a circle.
No,
Yeah,
there's,
in a
there's
circle,
5
yeah.
people here to tell you that we did not walk 2 blocks.
Exactly.
Okay? So that,
I thought, and all the young people out there made me so happy.
yeah, it's
The
nice.
teenagers, that was awesome.
All right, what other talk of the town we got here?
Wait, can we say thank you?
Yeah,
to
thank you, Nicole,
Like,
for
really
doing
Yeah, it
this.
was good.
Actually, thank you
I mean,
very
that's
much.
awesome.
Thank
Honestly,
you guys for coming out because this is a testament to the people in the Key of how much they care, and we've got really amazing people. I mean, I know we've been talking about some of the bad apples, but the Key is. I mean, we got good people
There are
here.
some good people
it's
here.
a good place, and it's good to educate.
We got some
people.
bad apples in this room right here, too.
Oh,
Speak for yourself, Manny.
Not yet.
all right.
Thank you, Nicole.
Let's move on to the next topic. Did anybody catch the
What?
2020 graduates parade, or was I the only one?
Rafa was the only one there.
I
What,
missed
on
it.
Zoom? Or
No,
did
at Crandon Boulevard. A bunch of kids going down with their cars. I don't know. It was cute.
Rafa went.
Yeah, I went to get a picture.
I missed it. I saw all the barricades and all the cones all set up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I don't know where I was going, but anyway, I saw it. But I missed the whole
That's
entire
cute.
parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough break for those kids.
Yeah,
I feel
you know.
bad.
You know
I feel
what?
bad.
It's funny. I don't know if it's that tough a break. They
We
got
talked about
they got
this.
a lot of things going on here with the protests, with the virus, with
Yeah.
all the things
They're
that they can tackle. Like
they're
it gives
gonna
them a
tough-
reason to
gonna
do
tough them up.
stuff.
Like
I agree,
senior,
Rafa.
like
That's
senior
true.
slag on spring. Like going
Yeah,
to the
that's fun
beach.
too. But what they
Yeah.
have is going to be 10 times more memorable.
Yeah, I agree.
It is memorable.
Yeah.
I hope that
I
at
feel
least
bad
It
that they
gives
about
them
can.
like a
moment.
chance to like really.
Yeah, no one's going to remember the class of 2018.
Yeah,
2020? No one's going to forget 2020.
What about some kids? Like I went to boarding school, right? So if I had left in March for spring break
You
and
never
come
see your
home
friends again.
and that's it,
Oh,
I
yeah,
never
that's rough.
see my
Yeah, but
friends
you know
again.
what? They
Like,
do a get-together some
Here it
other
was-
time.
but this was high
Everyone's gonna
school.
remember
I know, I'm just
2020.
But
saying.
also, but Manny, when you were in boarding school, there was no all this social media stuff. These
That's
kids
true.
are.
Oh, no, there were
constantly- I
riots
know.
in Liberty
Oh, you went to a
City.
party. You went to this. I saw you. Oh, I'll see you. Oh, let's go to New York or whatever. I feel like these kids are connected.
How many
But you're
Zo-
right. I agree with you.
How many Zoom chat meetings, parties, drink party I had
A
like
lot.
20 of them
I
all
had
the
a lot.
time. Like, ran, like,
I know that was just last weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking more about the high school kids.
I know.
though.
I think you know what I agree.
They're fine. They can drive across town and see each other.
And they're going to college.
Yeah.
Or are they?
But
That's the other thing.
But Rafa,
you know,
you're right.
I was going to Stanford, but now I'm just going to go to Dade and take classes online
No.
because I'm not going to pay $100,000 at Stanford
Their parents must be hating
to do it
them.
online.
No, I think everyone's going to go back in the fall, and I think what Boston University is doing, which is Lawrence School, which is in Boston, which has a lot of cases.
Boston University's in Boston?
Yes.
Boston, Iowa, or
Shut up, Manny. I'm drinking a little Bacardi rum, okay? Okay. So they're giving them the option to go back to campus, or if you're not comfortable going back to campus, to do it online for fall.
For the same price?
No, online is cheaper. Thank you.
Is it?
Yes.
So when
Only by $500.
No, it's by
so
not that much. Not 500, but not like 20 grand.
so when Katrina hit and New Orleans shut down for 6 months or whatever, and we didn't, Tulane and Loyola and all other universities and colleges were closed, we had to go to another school because the online
Right.
school was not a thing. That makes me feel old, but whatever.
That's crazy that there was
Online school was not an option. And the schools, we had to pay tuition. And the schools, each of the schools that took us in, donated that money to Tulane or Loyola.
Oh,
or
that's
whatever.
interesting.
So it was interesting, but we still paid. Took less classes because they wouldn't let us take more than
But you
3
still pay
because
the
they thought we were
Tulane
traumatized, which
tuition.
we were. Still
Tulane
paid
tuition.
Tulane tuition. So that's interesting.
It's
It's a different trauma. It's a
this is a
different,
whole new world we're
whatever,
in right
but
now.
It's interesting.
And thank God for the internet, because honestly, these kids would be. What would they have done if there was no internet?
I don't
honestly,
know.
like they'd be behind
Miss
a
a year,
semester.
miss a semester.
But everyone would have been behind
Yeah,
a
exactly.
semester. Anyway, move
All
on.
right.
Manny says we
so
need
there
to move
was-
on.
Manny's over.
Manny's
it.
over
It all
has a
started
date.
with
He's
Manny,
over the
Manny
college
has dinner or
tuition
date.
talk.
Something's going on. He has to go.
Do you want to talk about property values going down for the second year in a row?
that's your thing, Rafa.
Okay, last year they went down about 2-something%.
And now what?
This year
Tell
they're
me. Give me the bad
forecasted
news.
about a 1-point-something%. So we're still on the downward slide. There was an article in the Islander this week, a commentary by this guy Barry Goldmeyer. And
I read that.
He has been writing them over and over. He is really trying to hammer this point home that we're not doing enough to
But he's
entice
very-
people to come to the Key and buy here, right?
He's
Called out
very
the-
negative, though, dude. I don't like his. You can say that in a better way. He's negative. He's saying I think it's bad promo for Key
It's a
Biscayne.
very
So
much an
He
opinion.
called out the chamber.
Yeah, he called
I
out the
didn't like it.
chamber for not advertising the Key well. But I think he doesn't. I think he
from
misses
here?
the point. He calls out the chamber. He thinks we're not trying to attract the New Yorkers that are coming here in droves, which they are, but they're all going to like North Miami,
But that also is
Aventura, Sunny Isles,
Hey, wait.
Depending
Miami
on so
Beach.
many other factors.
Hey, what
Yeah.
publication was this?
The Islander.
Yeah, exactly.
No, wait. So I will say one thing. Anecdotally, totally
Enough said.
anecdotally, but our friend Sartaj, he asked a realtor about like coming
Oh, really?
Miami. You didn't. I'm pretty sure you know this story.
What?
And they were like, oh, you're gonna love like Miami, North Miami
They're
Beach,
moving?
or
They're
like
moving back here?
Aventura, whatever. And he said, what about Key Biscayne? And the realtor told him, you don't want to go there. Too many Latins there.
Too many Latins.
Is that? Oh, wait a minute. Is that racist? Maybe.
No,
Bitch,
but I think
come
it was
on.
even
Who
if they
says
said it
that?
that
No, it's
way.
because they're probably protecting him because he's brown.
Oh,
No.
He's
I think it was
Indian.
more the
Yeah,
English Spanish
maybe.
thing.
It doesn't matter.
New Yorker-
Who says
No, that's an
that?
inappropriate thing for the realtor to say.
that's-
Like, oh, it's a lot of families. Like, do you
That's
want to start a
racist to
family?
me too. By the way, that's a
Look,
racist.
I think it was.
Is that I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
It's inappropriate.
It's
I-
stereotypical.
Is that the number?
It's-
Is that what
or
you
I
call
don't
it?
know what it is.
Inappropriate?
Actually, there's something.
Who says that?
I do
That's-
think the general sentiment from it might be, even though that was poorly worded, maybe on the realtor's part, it's
Right.
more like, do you want to go where the New Yorkers are, which is like Miami Beach
No,
and that
I
kind
don't.
of
I
area,
wanna- I don't wanna go with the
do you want to
same-
go to
I
Key
wanna have fun and be
Biscayne,
like
where
in
everybody
another
speaks
country?
Spanish as a first language
Yeah.
for the most part?
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think it's 70% of the Key is speak Spanish
Yeah,
for their
exactly.
first language.
Yeah.
And so what?
And
How great
so
is that?
It's not as attractive. It's not as attractive
You're
to these
welcome.
New Yorkers.
What a great thing to give people.
Anyway, there's
What
a
a
lot-
culture.
There's a lot of things. The buildings are really old and they're expensive, so prices have to go down.
You know what? Keep
I
everyone
think
out.
it-
I love
guys,
this
I think
place.
it's
I don't
just-
want too many people here anyway.
I think it's just a cycle,
I love
guys.
it.
It goes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love it.
Me
Oh,
too.
we were the
I love where I live.
I
beginning
know.
of the
I don't
quarantine.
understand what the downside of this conversation is, because if we're talking about less people.
It's a lot of people who got
very happy here.
their places as a nest egg, and if you're looking at your place as just like how you're going to sell it at some point and get out of here, then you're worried. But if you look at your place as like, I'm going to keep this thing and I'm going to be on the key until the end, then it doesn't matter if you sell it or not, because you sell it and you can find another cheap place on the key.
Wait, but also a big point is that the peak, I mean, it had been going up for so long. It's not like it was going to go up forever.
Spiking. We flattened the curve.
Anna, you weren't born yet.
It was meant to go. I mean, I was born here.
No, you weren't born
what
yet.
What do you mean?
You weren't born yet when the 80s recession, real estate recession thing happened. So
it'll go up and down. It's natural. This guy giving this opinion thing is dumb.
Up and down.
Yeah,
Key Biscayne's a beautiful place to live.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I love it.
Don't tell anybody.
There's dirty beaches.
Get out of here.
Trash everywhere.
Trash everywhere.
Trash on the beach, guys.
And I always say quality,
Riots on the
quality
weekends.
over quantity.
Kids on golf carts.
Yeah, get out of here while you still
Underage
can.
driving.
That's probably the most dangerous thing, people texting and golf cart driving.
Or driving their monster SUVs on Fernwood, double parking, golf cart,
We live in a
passing
beautiful
golf
place.
carts,
New Yorkers
dropping their kids
do
off.
not come here.
Guys,
Stay in New York.
no one's listening.
Lenny.
All right.
It's only Key Rats listening.
That's the Bacardi talking.
All right. And the last thing I wanted to talk about.
There's openings, by the way.
I know, but that's
there
it. But this is the
Okay,
talk of the
that's later.
town.
Okay,
That's
good. There
out.
you go.
The last thing. Is the Rona coming back, or is it not
No, it's
coming back?
Oh, it's back.
No, it's
baby.
gone up.
They're
It's like
talking that it's up, but it's like the
Rafa.
tests are up. Or
do you see the numbers right now?
the numbers are up,
No,
but
we
the tests are
plateaued
up
here
too.
on the Key for 3 weeks at 69.
No.
Now we're at like 75.
Yeah.
Lenny, the question really is, can you get it a second time, right?
Oh, who knows?
I mean,
Lenny's immune.
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
We
I have
had
no
it
idea.
definitely. I had it. You had it too.
But we
back
didn't-
in December.
It's not official, dude.
Doesn't
I want to
matter.
get the official.
In between
thing.
the years, it's official
It's
for
not
me.
official. I think I had it, but I want to get the official thing.
You know what? I heard somebody today, and they were saying, "Look, it's really until they're establishes a herd immunity, and that's at like 70%
We're
of
doing
the
our
people
part.
have had it already.
Yeah, we are doing it.
Right now, we're at 10%, I think, of the country
Oh, really?
that's had it. So it's going to continue until we get to that, and that's why it's the race for the vaccine, right?
Right. That's the more that we stay healthy and we're not getting sick, the better, because then it's closer to the vaccine, and how to really
In the
help yourself
meantime,
when you have it.
you got your mask with you all the time.
Mine's somewhere, yeah.
I forgot my
Joking,
mask
I have
today.
it. Oh,
Did you see this one, Lenny? Look at that.
Well,
Oh, that's cute.
I would say if you are susceptible, if you are at risk, don't trust that the government's letting you go outside because they have your best interests at heart. They just are letting you go outside, period. You got to manage your best
You do
interests
what you feel
a
is
little
best
bit
for you.
yourself, okay? So don't just be like, hey, they said I could do it, I should do
No,
it. It's more like you can do it if you want, but don't,
Guess what?
watch out.
guess what? I have
Yeah.
a bad feeling
Yeah. My Corona motto is
That people think of it
that
like
people
that.
are just like, oh, whatever.
my Corona motto is you do you. Like if you have an underlying
You,
issue.
exactly.
Lenny, the
I
thing
know
is,
you.
look, we're all slipping. You wouldn't have been holding the mic that way
What are
3
you talking
weeks
about?
ago.
You're like making out with your mic, man.
Rafa told me I had to. Rafa
gotta
said
eat
I had to put it right up there.
Hey, nobody's sharing
Stop
mics
it.
here. It's
So
okay.
did everybody,
Nobody's
did we
sharing mics.
sanitize all this
I
before?
disinfected this with my Bacardi breath.
Make love to the microphone, guys.
All right.
Okay, well, that's all the talk of the
Openings and
town
closings.
topics, so we can move on to openings and closings. That you have one for us?
No, there's, and I of course I don't remember the name, but I'm sure you do because Ralph, you're so smart.
Sure.
There's a taco place that
We
opens.
know the name. We know the name
Okay.
because we've had quite a few conversations
I was
about
like,
it.
there's a taco place?
So tell us where it
In the
is,
key?
Lenny.
On the key. Yes, Nicole. A taco place open the key.
On
Where,
Key.
where is it?
I have no idea.
I
that's
know because Rafa and I on our free time drive around the Key to try to find topics.
I love it.
Okay. Right next to Cosamed, where Doggies was,
Oh,
which
okay.
I'm pissed that Doggies closed, by
Me
the
too.
way.
In
It
the
was a
square.
good little spot in the
They
square.
have good hot dogs.
And it is called, what is it called?
Tacoology?
Tacopolis?
Taco what?
Tacopolis.
Tacopolis.
Yeah, which is a horrible name.
Tacopolis.
Did you eat it? Did you eat?
No,
Did you try
we
it?
haven't. And the tables that are outside, I think, are Costa Med tables. I don't know if it's like open for
Ooh.
business yet or not because it opened during Corona. But we don't think it should be called Tacopolis. We want to suggest that they change their name to Taco City.
Taco City.
Tacopolis is quite a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, there better be some big tacos there.
So I don't know. We haven't
That's like
gone.
a major metropolitan taco.
But
Yeah, and the key.
But you know what? I'm actually happy there's like a Mexican thing happening here because I love tacos and
Me
guacamole.
too.
Right?
I'm like happy about
But
it.
the one time there was a taco shop on the key, it sucked.
It did. It
Guys,
was
all you
right.
have to do is go tomorrow. Go to the farmers market.
I
You
know.
know
Oh,
the
that's
tacos
true.
there, right? Saturday
Tacos-
mornings.
The best
Oh my God.
guacamole ever. I know.
Yeah.
It's
I know,
true.
but don't
You're
take
right.
away from Tacapacala, whatever it's called.
We like to name things on this show. We like to name things for people.
Do you have any other openings and closings that you can pronounce, Lenny?
No. Oh, what's that place called in the corner that I always forget that you...
Which one?
Yeah, that one.
Narbona?
Namibia.
Yeah, Narbona.
Narbona.
Did you go?
I've never been. Have you-
I don't.
Has it opened?
Has
to the
anyone
public?
gone?
No, it's in the corner of the square. Also, we
It
talked
looks
about
pretty.
Wait, apparently, according to our correspondent from LA, Oasis closed during Corona.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
not sure if
true?
they're coming back. We'll see. They're
No.
not open now.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
They're not open now. That's not a good sign.
yeah.
Yeah, last time that happened,
that
there was a
bakery
fire.
next-
Yeah.
If the bakery next door is selling like baguettes for $20 is still open and Oasis is closed, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. I do have one little announcement that I just found out today. Maybe you guys already knew, but Winn-Dixie is open until 9 p.m., not 8 p.m.
Woo, that's a big deal. 8 p.m. is way too early. That's a
Yeah,
big
so they're
deal.
open until 9
I haven't
p.m.
been to Winn-Dixie in 3 months.
So that's nice.
Yes.
Really? Damn,
Yeah.
you're fancy.
Yeah, I pay for the extra upcharge with...
I got to get in there with all the people
Instacart.
sweating,
I get in there with
breathing
the
on
people.
each other.
Nope.
We're all in
I
that.
get in there. I
We
get
all
in there.
huddle around the one
That's where you're going to get the
self-checkout
corona,
one.
you
Like,
retards. Don't go there.
Listen, we
Don't
made it
go
this
there.
far. We
Instacart.
made it this far.
I find it delightful, actually. Now you
I
go,
hate it there.
there's no crowds.
There's nobody. There's not that many people.
I used to go once a day. now
Nicole,
it's
do you
just
go
once
there?
a week.
herd immunity.
Sometimes.
It's kind of
I
gross.
say that all like shit.
I go to the farmer's market on Saturday, get all my produce there.
Yeah, that's
and then
good.
I just do the
Can-
little accents at Winn-Dixie spot
Can
in.
I make a note about that?
What?
They have charged so much more recently
At
for
the
the produce
farmers?
at the farmer's market. And listen, this is the example, okay? A bag of beans, of dried beans.
What?
They charged me $8 for a bag of dry black beans. The same size bag of dried black beans, like no brand, just
At Winn-Dixie,
bag.
80
At
cents.
Winn-Dixie, like $3.
Yeah.
They're
Guys,
doing a little
not
thing
fair.
there. They're doing a little bit like the
Not fair.
boats used to do at Sundays, where they were
Key
where-
Biscayne, charge
where,
more.
Where they had all this fish out, but it was really just frozen fish that they
Yeah.
had brought, and
They,
they're
like,
kind of
fake
doing
it.
a little bit
Yeah,
like
they
that.
let-
at the
Listen,
I'm
farmer's
upset.
market.
it's
I'm upset.
delightful going there to shop. Maybe not,
I agree.
250% more delightful, but it's still nice to go
I
there.
agree. I like the
And
vibe.
they have worked super hard. That
No,
crew,
I don't
and they've
You
expanded.
know, I like
and
the
so-
I like the vibe. It's just really expensive. It
yeah.
really
Yeah.
There's little hacks in
I don't
there.
like the little bamboozle
Yeah, there's little
part of
hacks.
it.
There's
I
little
agree with
hacks. Have you seen my reusable kit of food? Like it's a little tin kit.
Oh, that you take over there and you
I
have
take
them
it over
fill
there,
up.
and it has one section guac, one section pico de gallo, one section
I like
pernil,
it.
one section this.
Their guac is very good. I'm not gonna lie.
I like
And
your
it, you know.
I like your hack also from the Scala hack. That's a good hack too.
Yeah.
Just the sauce, baby.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, another opening is Manny. You posted and you're forgetting it.
Okay.
The bar at the point.
Oh yes, the cleat.
Please.
Yeah, I went last night.
Wait, tell everybody where it is and what it is.
Okay. In Key Biscayne, Florida, South Point of Key Biscayne, Florida, there's the lighthouse. The state park. Everybody knows Bill Baggs, Cape Florida State Park. No Name Harbor, which is where Boater's Grill is the restaurant. And then, Boater's Grill is the restaurant. No Name Harbor. At the tip of No Name Harbor, on the southern point, southwest point of No Name Harbor, there was a shelter there, like a picnic sort of shelter, and they turned it into a bar.
Awesome.
It's called the Cleat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it open right now?
It opened yesterday,
Okay.
which was the day that actually it opened on Wednesday, I think, the day that the beaches opened.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Makes
are the
sense.
hours? What are the hours?
So the state park's always kind of an early night. It closes at sunset. So it's a sunset place.
In the summer, that means 9,
Yeah.
Right.
8:39.
Right. So you can go there for your sunset happy hour, bring the bug spray, because the no-see-ums are brutal. They're absolutely brutal. But it's a nice full bar, beautiful venue. Obviously, the views there, there's not a better view.
Dog friendly.
Well,
I saw little dog friendly photos.
what dog? That's what I always say. What dog?
I saw 2 dogs, Manny.
He's right there. So you ride your bike there.
Is it
come by boat.
Is it going to be open every day?
It's open every day.
Every
No way.
day?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would go right after this, and
I know,
but I have to go to this thing. I would go with you guys right now. It would be perfect.
And by the way, you know what?
Check them out on Insta.
You should-
They're called The Cleat.
The thing you need to go to, you should probably say and have a little. Just say it right now on air. What you're doing, please.
I'll say it.
Please.
Our friend Diego Becerra, he got hit. A boat crashed into his boat a couple weeks ago. You might have seen it in the news.
Yeah.
And he died. And it was just sudden
Very
and out of
sad.
nowhere. They were fishing and some idiot boater guy that was drunk and kind of going without any lights just rammed right into him
into the boat.
and he died. And
Yeah.
it's horrible for him and for their family.
And Ralph and
everything.
Anna are going to their funeral tonight. And you know what? And
This is a memorial mass. I think they already had the funeral.
did they really?
Yeah,
It
and
was-
they
it
have
was
on
during-
Sunday a paddle out also.
Yeah, in
Oh,
South
nice.
Beach.
In
yeah.
South Beach, that will be for like friends and family. But it's heartbreaking. I mean, if people are like jumping back to get out in the beach and the ocean, it still can be a dangerous place. And
Right.
yeah,
And
like
that-
rest in
he
peace
was
to
so-
him
oh my
and
God.
to his
That-
family.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're thinking of you guys and their family, and we're praying for them. And
I wonder
I don't
if you
even
more
know-
info about the paddle out because I think it's such a beautiful.
The Padlet is 6:30 out
Thank
from
you.
South Point,
there
on
you go.
Sunday.
South Beach. Yeah. So Sunday 6:30. It's a beautiful time of day.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have any calendar? Anything? I mean, apart from that, anything else
I have
going on this
I have
weekend?
a quick calendar, really quick. And I'm sure mine is not as important as yours, Nicole. So let me do it first. My calendar is, I think, and I will confirm the next time we do Ret Radio. July 1st is the Key Biscayne Yacht Club opening of the new building.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's exciting. That's a
Yeah,
huge
so I'm
deal.
super excited. July 1st.
Is it going to be like a full weekend thing, or just
I
a
don't-
night, or
I-
a day, or?
I don't know the details, but all I know is July 1st is they're
That's a Wednesday.
They're opening the building, so maybe that weekend they'll have something more. But maybe a soft opening with
Well, it's obviously.
Hopefully I'll get-
something's that weekend. What the hell is it?
4th of July?
1st, July
4th of
1st,
July.
4th of July.
No fireworks and no parade. There's going to be something.
So that's going to be a whole week. It's going to be a
Yeah.
whole week of activity
Yeah.
there.
So I don't know.
There's also a thing next week at the Yacht Club, a drive-in movie theater or something. Do you know about that, Lenny?
I don't, and I
See,
wish
those are
Andrea
organizing.
would let me know so we can talk about it because I need to. Okay, next week I'll tell you more.
Okay.
I don't know. Me no say.
All right, Nicole, you have
Right.
something?
Well, if everything goes through, which fingers crossed, in 2 weeks we're going to have a pretty big event here in the Key on anti-racism that is going to be
Awesome.
pretty interesting. I don't want to say the details yet because I just checked my email. I'm waiting on an email right now that would be massive, but yeah, so that will be happening. And
Annie, can you share anything else, like where it'll be, or
No.
Next week?
Not right now, not on the air,
Well,
not on
let
the
me
air.
tell you guys, Antifa's organizing, led by me, Nicole Pritchett. My family
Yes,
is not
yes, yeah,
involved.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
avoid sending any hate mail to my
That's
mother.
hilarious. That's
Hang on,
funny.
whose Antifa card is this on the phone?
Yeah, so we'll see, but
We could post
it should be
on
pretty awesome.
Rat Radio
So-
Facebook.
Yeah, let us know so
Yeah.
we can.
I
you
look
know,
forward to everyone coming out to protest.
positive protest. It'll be fun. Let us know for sure.
All right, man, play us out. I got to get out of here.
All right, wait. I
Manny,
will
hey.
mention that
Man, you get to pee. What's going
that
on?
there's no 4th of July fireworks this year. They canceled them,
I
but
know.
the parade is happening. You can sign up at kb4.org. Please do and go buy a T-shirt. They're made by Victor Garcia, Key Rat, an artist.
Wait a minute.
He made the design.
The parade is happening.
Is happening
in a different format.
in a different format.
Not
it's
on
not going
Crandon.
down Crandon with a
Oh,
stage.
because a lot
And the
of my
We're
Junkadoos
driving-
are coming.
They
Okay.
might come.
Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of my Key Rat friends are getting places at the
Sands?
Yeah. So what
Silver
do I?
Sands.
Can you tell me just really quick so I can?
What's
and they're
happening
and
with the
they're
parade?
listening. Yes.
The parade is going to go down Harbor.
Okay.
Then it's going to pop back onto Crandon from South Mashta.
Okay.
Or from West Mashta, sorry.
Are you gonna kill
No,
these people? What's going on?
yeah,
That's a
from West
long
Mashta.
parade, dude.
It's not going to stop. There's no stage. There's no nothing. And it's cars only, no
Cars
marching
only.
bands.
Okay.
Cars
All right.
only, maybe bikes. We're letting
there's
the bikes
still a
in
parade.
if they want to like break out, whatever.
Okay. Perfect.
Bikes for sure.
Yeah. We're going to get back on Crandon. Then we're going to go into the buildings. And then
Oh,
we're
you
going
are?
to, yeah. And we're going to go down. We're going to go down
Yeah.
right
Like
by
the
the
bunny-
sands.
like the-
Yeah, you have to do a
Everybody.
Silver Sands loop. That's
So
all you
I'm
got to do.
gonna tell my girlfriends to keep their reservations at the Silver Sands.
Yes.
They
Yes.
can do a
Done.
loop right through the
And if they want to participate, it's free, and we need the help because it's almost all locals. We don't have any marching bands or anything like that. We probably will get the Junkanoos in the back of a pickup truck or something like that, or on a trailer.
That'd be awesome.
But we need help. So if you want to help out and drive your golf cart and decorate it or do something for the key, kb4.org.
I'm sure there's going to be cash prizes too.
.org.
All kinds of cash prizes.
Money. There's money out there if you're in it.
Aw.
So
Real
get
money.
in there. $1,500 for
Manny,
first place.
the Keyret Sisterhood can do a float. We should do a float. We have like a Keyret Sisterhood. All
Anything.
my elementary school girlfriends that we're still friends with. That'll be fun.
Make it funny. Make it good.
Let's do it.
I can promise you that Austin is doing something big
Yay.
for this little thing. Like, he doesn't have his main stage to be the MC, so he wants to be the big time MC rolling through the thing, and
Awesome.
he's prepping something pretty big. So.
And Vic has the T-shirts, which are cool. I saw them
Yeah,
already.
Vic
really
Garcia
cute.
made the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Where can you get the T-shirts?
At kb4.org/shop or at kb4.org. Just go to the website, check it out, go into the menu,
Manny,
go to
you
shop.
can go to the
I
bathroom.
want to see those shirts.
T-shirts,
Have we?
flags, blah, blah, blah.
Let's
the whole
start
thing.
promoting them. Oh, you don't have them yet. Okay, all right.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that. Oh, wait, are we still live?
Yeah, we are still live. Okay, that's the show. Thank you for listening. I want to thank Nicole for being here. I want to thank
Nicole, thank you.
our
Thank
super
you, guys.
panel of
Thank you.
Pina Gallery here. And I'm your host. That's it. And thank you, Pablo, for the jingle out. Bye.
Tropical Red.